only politicians would get involved in a war of words over who actually wrote the cheque to that terrorist who killed himself on Monday. Do they honestly think any of us give a goddamn as to who wrote the cheque? We are more concerned about how it happened. I don't care whether it was Tony Blair who signed the cheque, Ken Clarke who signed the cheque. I don't care if it was the Easter Bunny who signed the cheque. What has happened is the cheque should never have been signed in the first place. The guy should never have been allowed back in. And here's the incredible thing, right? Did it never occur to anyone to take away the man's passport? Did no one... Now look, if you are suitably motivated, that you think it's a good idea to pack a jeep with a load of explosives, drive it as a suicide bomber and take you to wherever you think you've come from, whichever God to whom you might pray, I realise taking away a passport is probably not going to stop someone with that much foul evil in his or possibly her heart. I get it. But wouldn't it be a sign? Instead, we get involved in the most extraordinary war of words, with Tony Blair deciding to blame the Daily Mail. It's the Queen who says, don't complain and don't explain. Never let them know you're rattled. Never let them know you. They would have been roaring, and I don't blame them. Great, we've got him so... Why would a former Prime Minister, a man as successful as he once was, all that he achieved, worry about what a newspaper might or might not be saying about him? And then we had the extraordinary thing with Jack Straw seeming to effectively say that they knew he was guilty, but he still had to be released. He said to the BBC, neither Mr Blair nor I ever said that he, this is Harith, or Fiddler, whatever you want to call him, the suicide bomber, was innocent. Whenever you're making decisions about the release of prisoners, you have to make a judgment, and sometimes those judgments are not borne out by events. So what does that mean? The Blair government lobbied for, and then... And by the way, Tony Blair saying the Conservative government led by David Cameron in 2010. You'd think he'd know a bit about politics. It wasn't it was a Conservative-led government. It was a coalition government. Surely he knows that. Perhaps he's too busy counting his money, or counting his houses. It must take a while. Perhaps he visits them. He's got more houses than Savills, that bloke. But why would they sink to this war? Why do you think we care who wrote the cheque?